Imagine waking up to the sound of sirens blaring and news anchors shouting about a catastrophic war that has engulfed the globe. The unthinkable has happened. NATO and Russia are at war, and the world as we know it is on the brink of collapse. In this gripping video, we're about to walk into a chilling scenario that could become our harsh reality if tensions between these two superpowers continue to escalate. So, get ready and join us as we explore the devastating consequences of a conflict that could change the course of history forever. 1. Tensions rise. The decision by Georgia and Bosnia and Herzegovina to join NATO has sparked tension with Russia, which views NATO's expansion as a threat to its borders. Russia, which has long been wary of NATO's expansion, has expressed its displeasure with the recent developments. The Kremlin views the inclusion of Georgia and Bosnia and Herzegovina into the alliance as a direct threat to its own borders and sphere of influence. This sentiment is not entirely unfounded, as NATO's presence in these regions could potentially limit Russia's ability to project power and maintain its regional dominance. The tension between Russia and NATO has been simmering for years, with the former accusing the latter of encroaching on its traditional areas of influence. The addition of Georgia and Bosnia and Herzegovina to NATO's ranks has only served to exacerbate these tensions, raising concerns about the potential for further escalation. As the world watches closely, it remains to be seen how Russia will respond to this latest development and whether it will take any concrete actions to counter what it perceives as a growing threat to its national security interests. 2. The conflict begins. When Russia moves its troops to the western border, it's a big deal. This action challenges NATO, a group of countries that work together for security. Russia then goes further by attacking Latvia and Lithuania with its military. This move is serious because it could lead to a big conflict, like World War III. In situations like this, countries need to work together to find a peaceful solution. It's important for leaders to talk and try to avoid fighting. If countries start fighting, it can lead to a lot of destruction and harm to people. So it's crucial for leaders to find ways to resolve conflicts without resorting to war. People around the world will be watching closely to see how this situation unfolds. It's a tense time, and everyone hopes for a peaceful resolution. The key now is for leaders to communicate, negotiate, and find a way to ease tensions before things escalate further. Diplomacy and dialogue are essential in times of crisis to prevent conflicts from spiraling out of control. 3. NATO's response. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, has taken action by mobilizing its troops in response to the conflict with Russian forces. This move involves deploying American troops to strategic locations like France and Germany, while also sending naval forces towards Russia's eastern coast to create a second front in the conflict. This coordinated effort aims to apply pressure on Russian forces and potentially shift the dynamics of the ongoing military confrontation. The arrival of American troops in France and Germany signifies a significant show of support and solidarity within NATO, demonstrating a united front against the Russian military actions. By positioning troops in key European locations, NATO aims to bolster defenses, deter further aggression, and potentially regain control of territories under threat. Additionally, the naval deployment to Russia's eastern coast indicates a strategic move to disrupt Russian operations and create additional challenges for their forces. This counterattack by NATO represents a decisive response to the escalating conflict, signaling a strong message of resolve and readiness to defend member countries against any aggression. The strategic placement of troops and naval forces highlights the alliance's commitment to maintaining stability and security in the region. As tensions continue to rise, the actions taken by NATO demonstrate a proactive approach to address the evolving situation and protect the interests of member nations. 4. Nuclear escalation. In times of escalating conflict, like when Russia launches a nuclear strike on Berlin, the situation becomes extremely dangerous. This action can lead to a chain reaction where other countries, like the US and UK, feel compelled to retaliate. When nuclear weapons are used, the consequences are catastrophic, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. The world watches in horror as tensions between major powers reach a critical point, with the threat of even more devastating nuclear exchanges looming. The decision to use nuclear weapons is one that carries immense weight and responsibility. The use of such powerful and destructive weapons can have long-lasting effects on not just the countries involved, but the entire world. The aftermath of nuclear exchanges can result in severe environmental damage, health crises, and a destabilized global order. It is crucial for leaders to exercise restraint and seek diplomatic solutions to prevent further escalation and mitigate the devastating impact of nuclear conflict. In the face of such grave circumstances, it is essential for the international community to come together to de-escalate tensions and work towards peaceful resolutions. Dialogue, cooperation, and diplomacy are key in averting a full-blown nuclear war. The world must learn from the past and strive to build a future where conflicts are resolved through peaceful means, ensuring the safety and security of all nations and their people. 5. Desperate measures. As the war in Europe escalated, Russia found itself struggling against NATO's superior forces. Facing heavy losses and a stalled offensive, the Russian leadership made the fateful decision to use tactical nuclear weapons against NATO troops and bases. The strikes caused massive casualties and destruction. Shocking the world, NATO responded swiftly, launching ground-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBM, at Russian military sites. The nuclear warheads rained down, obliterating their targets. Russia retaliated with its own ICBM barrage, targeting NATO countries. Panic gripped the populations as sirens blared and people rushed for shelter. The nuclear exchange quickly spiraled out of control. Hundreds of warheads were unleashed, turning cities into radioactive wastelands. Millions perished in the initial blasts and firestorms. Millions more suffered from radiation sickness and the collapse of infrastructure. The world watched in horror as decades of nuclear non-proliferation efforts were undone in a matter of hours. The consequences of this nuclear war will be felt for generations. The environment has been devastated, with nuclear winter blocking out the sun and plunging temperatures. Crops have failed, leading to widespread famine. Radiation has contaminated the land and water, making large areas uninhabitable. The social and economic fabric of the affected nations has been shredded, and the global economy is in ruins. It will take decades, if not centuries, to recover from this catastrophe. The world has been forever changed by the folly of war and the terrible power of nuclear weapons. 6. Devastating fallout. In times of conflict, the consequences can be devastating. When major cities are hit by nuclear strikes, the damage is catastrophic. This kind of destruction can have long-lasting effects on both sides involved in the conflict. The American president, in such a situation, seeks safety aboard the doomsday plane. From this secure location, they can oversee the aftermath and coordinate necessary actions from a safe distance. The obliteration of major cities due to nuclear strikes is a grave outcome of any conflict. It not only results in physical destruction but also impacts the lives of countless individuals, causing widespread suffering and loss. The decision of the American president to take refuge aboard the doomsday plane highlights the seriousness of the situation and the need for strategic leadership in times of crisis. By being at a safe distance, the president can assess the situation, make critical decisions, and coordinate efforts to address the aftermath of the devastating events. In the aftermath of such destruction, rebuilding and recovery become paramount. The resilience of nations and their ability to come together in the face of such adversity is crucial for moving forward. The American president, by overseeing the aftermath from the doomsday plane, plays a pivotal role in guiding the response efforts and working towards restoring stability and hope in the midst of chaos. It is a challenging time, but with strong leadership and collective efforts, there is hope for eventual recovery and rebuilding of what has been lost. And that concludes our exploration of this fictional scenario. It's a stark reminder of the consequences of escalating tensions between nuclear powers. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking content, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for future updates. Thanks for watching.